Every time he touches it, he's a candidate to go the distance.
Monday Morning Running Back with Fred Taylor is fueled by Epstein & Robbins DUI defense firm and Monahan Jewelers on 1010XL.
Had a big weekend with Fred Taylor, man.
I heard you guys became best friends in the press box.
Oh, man. We had
the luncheon on Friday.
We had the Alhambra.
Terrific.
We hung out. He did a great job there. It was terrific. It was fun being a part of that. No, it's always good to hear stories with Fred. And then the journalist, Fred Taylor, taking notes meticulously.
Nice.
I didn't want to disturb him. He was so into. He's got all his. He's on top of that Jaguar stuff, man. When
we can start with this question, Fred. How much Dan Hicken is too much Dan Hicken?
Probably that's way than
I'm actually the person that should be best to answer that.
Yes. Good morning, guys. Good
morning, Fred.
Check in. I had a great time with you guys over the weekend.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Hicken's cool, man. Hicken's one of my guys. Hicken's been an ally since I pulled up to Duval.
Yeah.
So I ain't got no beef or no issues.
We got no beef.
One thing from a journalist to another, they kind of peek over. I was taking my notes and ready. And, he's like, okay.
Get some tips.
I like the preparation. And that's the thing, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for these young guys, man, we talk about training camp and, preparation, success, standards, culture, all of these different things, right? And really it boils down to how bad do you really want it?
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't a coffee drinker. I would see guys coming to the stadium with these extra large, what are they? Not the grande. What's the big triple X cup of coffee? A lot of these guys will pull up. Cal Brady would be kind of the guy to kind of have his young pup go and fetch the Starbucks. And, I took notes to stay awake. They drink coffee. But I was getting a 2-for-1. I was staying up and I was, staying on top of my game.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And things just became that easier. I could play faster. And someone always told me, man, you write it, you remember it. And that just stuck with me, and I can visualize it on the sheet exactly where it is on the sheet. And, first and foremost, my first note was always punish DBs early and get them out the equation.
Yeah.
And then I just, I had my studies to follow.
What does your notepad say from what you saw Saturday night? What would that when that pen hit that paper? What were you writing down? What did you note from the game this week?
Well, first off, I think just going into number one, it's the first preseason game. We don't lose any sleep on it. I mean, we got about as much as what we were going to get out of it. Yes, you want to see a win, but obviously they don't count, right? And there will be some losses on the way to allow you to see things differently. And I think what I was impressed with, I think in terms of communication, how the operations of the system, minus the false start on the very first play of the game. I think Trevor, at the top of the game, I said just manage the offense, get completions. He did that. What was he, 6 for 7 or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
So he got some completions and kind of moved the ball. The run game, I wish I could have seen a bit more. ETN missed a cut as big as day, I believe. And again, it's still early and the timing has to come together. So, but I saw it from upstairs, and it's Monday morning halfback, so be able to see things after the fact too, because the game moves quick. And I'm sure I've missed many good cuts throughout my career, but that was a big one. I'm sure he would like to have it back after watching the film. Tank ran hard. Tootin, man, he got something. We're going to see a lot of him this year, I believe. So we'll see. We'll see how that all works out. So being able to see Travis Hunter get in the offense, sprinkle a few plays in here and there. Brian Thomas doing what he does. Travis his cleats seemed a bit off. He was the only person I saw lose his footing. So I'm not sure exactly what that was there. Even in spite of a wet field, I didn't see many other guys lose their footing. Defensively, they got to tighten that up.
Yeah.
Few seam routes right down the middle, whatever that might be. I do know they got on third downs, play a lot of man coverage, press coverage up on third down. Maybe it's just a preseason thing. I'm not sure. Maybe it's they believe in their pass rush and they're going to get after it on third down that way. I'm not sure. But I did see some soft coverage. Seam routes were exposed. First play of the game, for the Steelers, as well as their first touchdown right down the seam, 2 19-yarders. So just got to tighten some things up. Still early, don't want to press too much, but a lot of upside.
Liam Cohen said they need to play stickier in the defensive backfield. I think that was a good word.
Means tighter coverage.
Yeah, I think that was a good word to use, and I thought we saw some of that, right? Like be like a 3rd and 3, and the corners were 6-7 yards off them, and so there were easy throws and catches and conversions for first down. So, and I think some of that bothered him. I'll ask you one X's and O's question. I've never understood it, and I don't know enough about it, so I'll just like to get your opinion on it. Josh Allen, one play, drops into coverage, and I know they all do it. Like Jeff was saying earlier, T.J. Watt does it. You know, we watch all these guys who are athletes drop back. I just don't understand it. We're paying these guys to rush the quarterback. I'm going to give them every opportunity to rush the quarterback. I'm never dropping the guy into coverage. I don't know. I know there's some sort of
You're trying to outsmart him.
It's just I don't get it. I just don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, there's an element of surprise that comes along with it. You know, here it is 1 minute, you know, you're watching film and you expect a guy to come on 3rd and, you know, it's 3rd and 12. You expect him to come after you, and then, boom, they're blitzing from the other side, and you have your all-star Pro Bowl DN dropping in the coverage. Now, you do want to drop the more athletic one if you're going to drop it, if you're going to try and force the QB to, you know, force the pocket and throw the other way. You know, so fire zones, Pittsburgh, they bread and butter. That's what they're successful at. And, you know, the element of surprise. So if you're going to do it, I don't suggest do it, you know, majority of the snaps because you do want to have them rush. That's why you're paying the big bucks. But, you know, here and there, sprinkle it in, I think it's okay.
Fred, to temper a little bit of the anxieties that come with things not being perfect, right? You don't want the second team offense to light up your first team defense first possession. You don't want to have your first offensive possession work around 2 or 3 penalties. All that being said, can you, as a former player, best describe the difference in game planning, execution, play calling, scheme, whatever it is, intensity, just to all of us between, say, a preseason game and a game in the middle of September?
That's the thing. When September comes, you know, it's, you know, you throw everything else out. You know, what we see on film and what we install is what we're going to take on Sundays, and the best team is going to win, and the worst team is going to lose. The preseason, you throw that completely out the window. You know, it's good to see things. They're basically generic. They didn't do a lot of blitz packages. You know, they had, you know, a few 5-man rushes in there, which is okay. Try to get a few guys on the edges, and we saw some pressure. We saw Pittsburgh having to scramble. So I look at the game differently. A lot of the players look at it differently. They know the packages, what they have. They've done it on practice field, and they get excited when the real bullets start to fly. So right now it's, you know, let's figure out who's going to be on the team, who can contribute and help us. How do we build our special teams, a core that's going to help us win games in the 3 phases. But again, no need to panic about anything. This 1D versus this 2 or 3rd team, you would like to see a bit more pressure when it's your 1s versus 3s, but at the end of the day, those guys are also in the pros. They're going to get one good play every now and then. And then if it were a 60-minute game where it was 1s versus 3s, I expect the 1s to dominate.
I guess another way of saying what you're saying is we got to know if we have good enough players, and we're not going to know if we have good enough players based on what we're seeing in these limited preseason opportunities. That'll come later down the road. We know what we got with
the season build.
Yeah,
certainly as the season build, you'll kind of figure out how much depth you have going in. You can get excited. You can get excited about the guys going in, but you really don't know until you know, right? And that's what the season is for. That's why it's so long. That's what the people in the front office and the that has to evaluate players and make the transitions or transactions, bring players in and out. Like it's a huge strategy, man, and it's a long season. So, but right now it's just entirely too, it's too premature.
There you go.
To kind of, hold your head on all that stuff.
Perfect.
Well, appreciate you on this weekend. Appreciate Friday. It was great luncheon.
We got to do that again.
Yeah, definitely.
People loved it.
Shout out to everybody that, won a spot and that listens and came in and had the free lunch with Freddie and the crew. And, E.T. still eating cake.
And it's good.
I'm sure he took some cake home.
He took a box home.
They took the whole cake.
The good people at Alhambra, man, they were amazing. The entire staff took some photos with them afterwards. So it was a great time. Man.
Yeah, it was good.
That
It was
was
fun.
absolutely phenomenal.
All right, my man. Well, have a good week, and we'll catch up with you next Monday. Hopefully a little bit better performance against the New Orleans Saints.
I only let you guys catch me because I want you to.
That's fair enough.
There he goes.
There you go. That's Fred Taylor over and out. All right, we went a little overtime because that's what we do when you have a future Hall of Fame running back. Back with more next as we reach halftime on today's program. We're live inside the DivorceMenOnly.com studios.
Hey gang, Hicken here. Thank you so much for watching 1010XL Jaguars on YouTube. That's right, Travis Hunter, you got some competition. Before you click away, please like this video, subscribe to this channel, and be sure to check out our other team-specific channels on the 1010XL network on YouTube. Appreciate you, Googans.